investing for quite a while, has had her ups, her downs. She likes to talk about them in her profile, and we'll make sure to touch on that. We're going to talk about market news as we're going live. We're getting actual results. So,
Oh yeah.
non-farm payrolls comes in hotter than expected. Oh my goodness, we just got the data. Oh no.
Oh,
Okay, so we have non-farm payrolls. We have U.S. trade balance coming in higher than expected. And then we have unemployment, which is the big one here. Unemployment rate comes in lower than expected. Oh no, this might tumble markets.
Thank God it's a short day, right?
Yeah. And that's gonna be
let's
an
move.
interesting thing. Markets are up on the news anyways. I mean, the Nasdaq is actually up.
Interesting.
How is Bitcoin responding? Is the question for me.
Let's have a look. Bitcoin a little bit up on the open. Interesting,
Hmm.
interesting day. But we are live. Welcome, Jody. Welcome, Mimi, and myself, Nestor Mendoza. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thank you.
Good, good,
Thank you
good.
for having me back. Welcome, Jody.
It's good to be part of the team. Got a little bit of a sandwich going on here for Nestor, I think. So
That's okay. That's okay. Hopefully it's a good one. You know what I mean? And that's all. As long as we get some good,
sure it
some
will
good
be.
meat and some juicy juices, you know what I mean? It's okay. But hopefully, yeah, because this market is an interesting one for sure. Like I know that we are sitting right now at all-time highs. The crypto markets are crazy. Bitcoin sitting at 109K. The S&P 500 is sitting at 6,278. The Nasdaq sitting at 22,851. It's just crazy. I mean, like, it's almost like the tariffs didn't happen. I mean, there's no tariffs. We are at the euphoria highs of January. Trump is doing his deals. So far, I believe the deals are not great, but the market seems to like them because we're getting a little bit of certainty, which is what the market likes in this case. We are touching on all-time highs, and the big question here is, will we continue to see that? We have seen the market go up and down since the start of July. Monday was a crazy day. It's just, I mean, we saw a little bit of de-risking from big money and hedge funds, and then we saw it being bought back on Monday. Tuesday was a little bit of the same. Market was moving like crazy. We saw rebalancing from the gainers to the laggers. And oh my goodness, I mean, like, it's just been, stocks have been all over the place. And so far today, we're hoping that the big beautiful field comes out, but we'll have to see what happens with Trump. We'll be able to get it through. Poly market is saying 98% chance of getting it done by tomorrow, 80% chance of getting it done by today. Only time will tell. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe to pay attention, and we'll let you know as soon as we find out. Okay. What do you, okay, Mimi and Jody? I know you guys are a little bit more crypto centric, so I want to know what's going on in crypto. I know there's XRP news, and I know there's a bunch of other stuff as well. So let me know.
Well,
Yeah.
look, everyone's been waiting for Bitcoin to at least hit 110,000, past 110,000. It did that a few hours ago, maybe 2 hours ago. Hit about 110, 200-ish, came back down to 109. I think it's actually falling slightly to 109, 300 because at 109, 700. So it's probably not liking the data, I'm not sure. But it's hit that wall. So that's a little slightly concerning, but I guess overall bullish. We just, there was such a lull in the crypto space for so long, and now there's more, like you said, there's more certainty. Is alt season going to come? Not just yet. We have to wait, but I really think that will catch everyone by surprise. The road to alt season, the road to that parabolic run for Bitcoin, and then alt season. Most of the big alts, right? It's not going to be an easy road still. But at the moment, everyone's just waiting with bated breath because there's certainty, but not quite. It's kind of in that no man's land, a little bit in no man's land, I feel anyway. That's my general take on crypto.
Jody, what are you
Yeah.
seeing?
Um. Yeah. Bitcoin's at kind of that key level, but it's not really. I'm not shocked about where it is. I didn't think it was going to make any new highs immediately. I'm expecting that in the next week or so. But
Yeah.
again, it's just the narrative, isn't it? It's getting really excited, but there's still a lot of bearish sentiment out there. Every time someone talks about Bitcoin on Etoro, it's either we're super excited, it's going super high, or it's still rubbish, we're not interested. Retail's clearly not there still, but everyone
Mm,
else is buying huge amounts of it, and it's not being kind of reflected in the price, which I think a lot of retail traders panic about because I mean they still think it's market manipulation. It kind of is, but it's they're the tools that they're allowed to use to keep price in those levels. That's how they make money. So we just have to wait for them to want the price to move higher, and that's going to take a little bit
exactly.
longer probably.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it's just all liquidity hunts at the moment by market makers.
Hmm.
That's my take on it. And I think that unfortunately, this is just my theory, is that retail's not here. So when will retail come in? And I think that once Bitcoin sets that new all-time high, and we're just saying just, the 113, 114, as it's going towards 120K, between like 114, 120K, that's probably where retail will jump in. That's when everyone
Yeah.
will start talking about it. Your friends are going to ask you about it. That's when it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we'll have quite a large size move then, but it's definitely not going to be as big as some of the historic moves Bitcoin's made. But law of large numbers is now kicking in, so people might be
Mm,
disappointed at that, but you've got to put it in perspective.
yeah.
These are still massive moves for portfolios. We have to try not to get greedy, even though we really really want to sometimes.
Mm,
Yeah. And right now I'm feeling toppish. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting in the camp, and I've been like sort of like in the middle for a while, but this time I'm kind of like more bearish, I would say, in my sentiment. Just because like we're sitting at all-time highs, we're expecting everything to go like beautifully into earnings, right? We have earnings next week and we have all of the deadlines coming up. We're getting a lot of Trumpium, you know what I mean? Like Trump hope
Mm.
is what I call it, right? It's just like, yeah, we have the best deals and the best things. And the Vietnam deal is not bad for America. I mean, it's not great either, but it's not bad. And if all of the deals are going to be around those, it tells us at least he's going to be in between 20 and like, we're going to get tariffs between maybe 10 if you're an ally or 35% if you're an enemy, like he was saying Japan, he was talking about Japan and talking about 35%, just a tariff level of 35% to Japan, which would be negative for markets.
Yeah,
But we'll have to
I think
see. I
Japan's
mean,
an interesting one.
exactly. And with the interest, with the Japan carry trade and interest rates being so low over
Yeah,
there, right? Any weakness could be
they will
seen as a
wipe
sign
out.
of selling, right? I've
mm,
always been scared of Japan. I have a feeling that they have a lot more weight than the market seems to think so, and it's just
They could
still
be
so cheap.
bluffing though. They could be bluffing. They do have elections coming up on the
Yeah.
20th, so they could just be trying to push it back so they don't have to make a political bias choice or something like that. So we're only going to have to wait a little bit on that one to see if they are bluffing or not, I think.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting.
yeah.
And the thing is, well, Trump managed to actually get something out of Canada the other day, which
They
was
didn't last
interesting,
very long,
right?
did they?
Yeah, right. And it's probably one of the biggest wins that where he didn't tackle out of the conversation. Canada tackled this time, but it apparently wasn't that big of a deal, right? Like apparently the amount of money that we're gonna get is like what, like it's like somewhere in like 2 to 10 billion or something, which in the grand scheme of things is really nothing.
Yeah.
So the reality was a little bit different, but he is using the power of tariffs to his advantage, and then that's the way that we see just that scare of the market altogether. It's just scare the markets, scare the politicians into submission, pretty much. So hopefully he gets a deal with everybody. I think India is next. People are talking about today and tomorrow. So there's some of the rumors that we're hearing, at least on
I
that.
think they could have a good deal. There could be something good coming in that
Yeah,
one.
and it'll be
The, qu-
interesting too. Oh, sorry, Mimi.
the question is like, in terms of tariffs, will it spook the markets anymore? If there was any bad news, is it all priced in now? Like everyone's just had the worst of the
Yeah,
worst in terms of tariffs, and anything, whatever happens, happens. Good news, great,
yeah.
rally. Bad news,
We don't
you know,
care. The market doesn't seem to
yeah,
care anymore, right? So it's like I think
Yeah.
that we do care, right? Because we're seeing that volatility. We saw volatility coming in whenever he's speaking, but we're buying the rally, right?
Yeah.
So it's so the volatility is here to stay. In all honesty, we've been saying that since the start of this year, and it just continues to be the truth, right? So it creates
yeah.
opportunities, massive opportunities for the market. Now,
Hmm.
big question here: do you guys think Trump's gonna get the big beautiful bill passed before the 4th of July, Independence Day? Is it Independence Day in America?
That's
Yeah,
timing
right.
things.
Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow's
Yeah.
and that markets are closed. US is closed tomorrow, and today's US session is a half day, is a half session, so that's something to take into consideration.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um,
Ooh.
do
I think it doesn't really matter when it gets passed, really. I mean, the market's going to be closed over the weekend anyway, so It's going
I
to
think market's
pass. I think
pricing
that's
in.
inevitable. Yeah,
Well,
I-
it's going to
crypto
get
will
excited when
take
all
a
that
hit.
stuff.
If stock market is closed, on holiday, but crypto is going to take the hit like last time.
Mm,
Is it going to be passed? Eventually. If not now, eventually, I think.
yeah.
Look, I'm not 100% sure, but let me show you something. So this is something that I actually came across and is very, very, very interesting in my opinion. But I like it's the reconciliation bill is what they're calling it in poly market,
Mm,
right? But let me have a look here. So share. Okay, so right here, markets are saying we get a pass. You know what I mean? Like this was sitting yesterday at 60. July 4th, we were sitting at like at 60%. So it's like here we go. Let me go here. Like, it's like this has been since 1st of July. We almost got to 30% that it was not going to pass. And then all of a sudden we saw that spike. Like even yesterday we were sitting around 50. And then bam, just 91% chance of getting this pass. Which would be like, it's like the poly market got Trump right. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Poly market got Trump right. So it's like, and I believed poly market more because I had agreed with the decisions whenever the election was happening. And I think Trump was sitting at around 60 to 70% in poly market. So I'm actually in the camp that they might get it passed. Trump might actually just like pull some strings. He's
Yeah.
paying attention. Vance is trying to do everything he can. So hopefully they get it passed and the market comes down a little bit. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Elon does and if he tries to pick another
I was
fight
going to
with.
say it might react more to Elon than this.
Yeah. Yeah, this
Yeah.
this this could add selling pressure to Tesla if this gets passed too. And then interestingly enough, one of the stocks that I actually bought from the renewable sector was First Solar. Well, I've held it for a little while, and I just didn't believe that they were going to get hurt. I mean, they're an American producer of solar panels, so
Mm.
an
Was it
interesting one for
first
sure.
first solar? First solar? Are you talking about first
Correct.
solar?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been
Mm.
it's been bouncing off the loss. It got punished whenever there was a couple of changes to the bill, and then I read the bill, and it's actually not that bad. Demand is actually going to get pushed forward, is my opinion at least. So we'll see, because it's the fastest way to get energy anywhere so far,
Mm,
right? It's like solar panels, you can get them with a truck to the place, but gas, oil, all of these different things take years to kind of come. I think like a gas turbine is 4 to 5 years away from production, so it's like it's insane. But yeah, that's
Mm.
something to pay attention. So Jody, you're new to the channel, so it's like we're gonna let you on. So right now we're like this segment is called "What's on Your Desk." So I want to understand
okay.
what is the thing that you're paying attention to right now, right? What is the thing
Um,
that keeps you awake at night?
I'm probably going to shock the world when I say crypto. I know probably in the same boat as me. I'm going to ride that bad boy through to year end. I'm probably going to get rid of it
Yes.
mostly next year.
Oh
Uh,
no.
for me, crypto is opportunity. It's an opportunity trade. I don't want to bag hold all the cycle stuff. I still think there's going to be a cycle, maybe not as pronounced as previously, but there's still really large moves to hold to the downside. So probably Bitcoin will be the last that I divest of. Might keep a little bit just for tracking and whatnot, but certainly all of the proxy trades that are going to act like leverage. So CleanSpark, Mara. I've just got rid of Hood because that's gone parabolic. MicroStrategy. Is that all I'm in? I think that's all I'm in.
Yeah, it's interesting because I saw your Mara position, and I saw that Mara finally got a little bit of love
I know. I
yesterday.
need some
I think
education on miners because I've been in them for like, well, I made a lot
it's
of money
so
in them.
long. It
So
feels like
yeah.
an XRP. It feels like an XRP, and I think that they're able to go like core weave. That's the problem, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it was an awkward trade because MicroStrategy really shook things up with their bond offerings, and the counter trade to that to be market neutral is they're going to short other equivalent companies, which just happen to be minor companies. So we got a lot of shorting there, and then more minor companies started to do the same bond play. So we got more short pressure. So some of the short interest on these companies is crazy high, but
yeah,
eventually Bitcoin moves higher, they will switch to net long, and that should alleviate the down pressure, which has really eaten them away. So I'm still super bullish on them. But
yeah.
Etoro really doesn't like it on the risk score, so that's not doing me any favors. unfortunately.
Yeah. It's been going so slowly, and it's interesting because I bought, like, it was like, I think 2 earnings ago that I saw that they were actually going to beat expectations drastically just because of how the price of Bitcoin was doing, and people were not paying attention. And I think people are still not paying attention to this stock. And funny enough, short flow is sitting at 28% right now, so it's like
Yeah, it's crazy on
30% of the
Binance.
company is shorted. You know what I mean? So it's like this has the potential to explode to the upside in a way that we just, like, we've seen before. You know what I mean? That's the problem with this stock. We see those crazy moves from one day to the next,
Yeah, they've been great to
right?
trade. So I've been layering in and layering out on all this chop, and it's been really good. It's just the the trades. It's probably not going to make the highs that it would have if it didn't have this bond play, but it's still going to probably double my position in it, at least in most of them. So that's quite exciting.
Yeah. No, I've been doing earnings. One of my best videos on YouTube is the Mara earnings, which is crazy. It's like small little small little companies, but they are actually innovating and creating space, and they're hopefully turning into the AI sort of data cloud revolution as well with their computing power. So it'll be interesting to pay attention to for those people. By the way, we're not financial advisors. We trade our money and our copiers' money. So make sure to check out our portfolios down below. There's always risk. This is only for entertainment purposes only.
Yep.
Use it as inspiration, not advice. But yeah, stock I really like and I really enjoy, and I hold kind of like a decent chunk of my portfolio in it too. Mimi, tell me what's on
Yes.
your desk.
Well, interestingly, I stayed up last night quite late thinking about Ripple. So I've always been, an XRP fangirl. And I think it was yesterday, the news came out that Ripple applied for like a bank license, right?
Correct.
But as a part of that as well, they applied for like a Fed master account. So if that essentially gives them like access to the Fed, and essentially, like, put quite simply, like the same type of VIP treatment as a financial institution, allows them to hold their stablecoin RLUSD as a reserve, without much like red tape or anything like that. They can act independently without a middleman. So that, I feel, nobody is really seeing the impact of what that could mean. And so the other reason why, like, that is not just bullish for XRP, it's bullish for the entire crypto community, because that essentially legitimizes crypto. Like, it's in, that's it, like, it's integrated. XRP, it specifically, will be integrated into the financial system and just all over the world pretty much. Now, the other reason why I was thinking about XRP is because I get asked a lot, what is the one altcoin? What stands out the most? Because there's so many. There's always this one coming out, and Curve and FET and all these narratives, right? And then I thought, okay, what would be my ultimate answer? And my ultimate answer would be, you look about utility. Okay, so you got Ethereum. I love Ethereum, right? Now, Ethereum's like, to everyone, it's dead, but I love Ethereum too. So you look at utility, you look at usage case, but XRP also has that cult following, like a meme coin. So when you put those two worlds together, XRP is unstoppable. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep because I just thought, I don't have enough Ripple. I just don't have enough Ripple. And so I'm back with, like, just focusing on Ripple. I'm going to invest more in Ripple. And the other thing to take note of is that it's quietly, when people say quietly building, it really has been doing that. It's been so strong, price action as well, been so strong. It's quietly building, and then it's going to just explode to the upside. I feel right now it's in the stage where buy the rumor, and then it'll probably have a bit of a sell the news moment. I would be buying at the next dip as much as I can.
Do you plan on
Okay.
holding this past the regular crypto cycle? Or is it still going to be part of that
That's a really good
divestment?
question. It's a really good question, because before this news, I was going to sell the majority. Like, I'm going to sell the majority, probably like 90% of my crypto, at the end of the cycle. Ripple and Ethereum and Bitcoin is something I would probably hold, probably more of Bitcoin. It makes sense, obviously, but at this point, probably more of Ripple as well. And I want to see how Ethereum, in terms of its developments, but Ethereum is, again, institutional grade platform, and it's around to stay. It just needs some improvement.
Well, it's also like, it's like it didn't get the rally that Bitcoin and all of the alts got back in the day, like not long ago, right? In the last rally, just because of all of the uncertainty around it and all of the lawsuits and everything. Thanks to what was
Mm.
what was the SEC chair? The ah,
I
Gensler?
forgot his Gensler. Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
Gary
been a
Gensler.
while.
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
Yeah,
him. It's been a while.
me too.
yeah, yeah. I wonder if that's how long it's gonna take for us to forget about Powell. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
apparently
Possibly.
he's been getting into some heat. He's been getting into some
Yeah,
heat.
I just saw that this morning.
Yeah, it'll be
Interesting.
tr-
Need to read a
it'll
bit
be
more on that.
interesting because I tell you, I don't want to see Powell get hurt. I really really don't. I like
But
him. I don't know. I like him. I like him. I'm not gonna say I think he's doing a great job, and I would not drop interest rates right now. I am okay right now.
I kind of
You know,
selfishly want them to get dropped because I know it's gonna
yeah,
pump my bags. So I'm like, drop
of
them. But there could
course.
be
Yeah,
some Japan trade unwind. I'm a bit worried about that, but I think there'll be enough money sloshing around. But the Scott Bessant's been stimulating the economy anyway with some stealth QE. So really, we don't technically need cuts, but if we delay them too much, they could cause an issue further down the line because these cuts will take 6 months to come in to work them into the numbers. And obviously, the jobs data was good today, wasn't it? Did we say?
it continues to be good. It continues to be good. Even the jobs
I'm
data
surprised.
reiterates the fact that he should not draft.
I mean,
Yeah.
like Bitcoin didn't really like that data, by the way. It's
No,
in what? No, I mean, like
A
it
little bit
fell, but not
green.
too crazy. Uh,
Actually, the market's holding up quite well broadly.
it's okay, but it fell to 108,000 ish, 700
Maybe everyone's starting their holiday weekend early.
probably.
things is like I'm not sure. It's like it seems that it's a low volume week. People are already thinking of the holidays, right? 4th of July tends to be a really positive day for markets. There's that American bravado. It seems to
Mm.
affect. So July is also a very good month for stocks. Like I think
Mm,
historically,
good for
it's
Bitcoin. I think
yeah.
it's normally a really good month.
So we are seeing. I mean, it's Q2. We saw that rebalancing, right? Like, and it was clear yesterday because we just saw the moves back to defensives, right? So it was an interesting one to pay attention to, and that's why you follow us here at Market Bus because we're always paying attention and we share the information. Man, I just messed up my hair.
There were quite a few risk-on assets that did do really well the last few days as well. I think it's the market's getting quite clever at rotating sectors very
Yeah,
quickly, which isn't traditionally how they would move. But I guess we're just living in that technological age where things just keep going quicker and quicker. So you've really got to roll with the punches a lot of the time.
Yeah,
But I
and
think
that's why I think
Russell did well.
sorry.
That's all right. You can go.
No, yeah. No, I was just going to say that that's why I think that people should really start positioning themselves soon before everything starts running. Well, I'm really just talking about crypto at the
yeah.
moment. Yeah.
I think for stocks, I'm actually, yeah. Like I was telling you guys, I'm like, and this is like where we talked. This is what this. Okay, so this segment goes into Jody to kind of introduce
Mhm.
you. This segment goes into the trading floor. So it's just pretty much like we talk about whatever we want. We used to be called a deep end, but the
Okay.
trading floor seems just we talk about rumors and things and all of the things that we are doing to kind of make our portfolios better. Because you're new to the channel, we would like to kind of understand what you're doing and how you're sort of like positioning yourself and kind of like share a little bit of your strategy and all of these
Mhm.
things that you do, right? The alpha
Okay.
that you
So
bring to the table.
my portfolio, I'm not a genet. I'm not most long term. Most investors on Etoro are quite long term. They're looking 5, 10 years out. For me, I'm quite opportunistic. I will be 6 months to a year, and I'll rotate sectors quite a lot. I will take very short swing trades. So I do have. I think I've got a really high turnover in trade positions on eToro. But yeah, currently, like we talked about, really strong on crypto into year end, and then probably going to rotate that more into energy sector. That's going to be really important. There's obviously the AI stuff going on. I'm hands up. I missed um, Nvidia when it was initially going boom. I had a good swing trade when it got pulled back, but I'm really not interested in mega caps. There's not enough upside for me. I like I like the possibility of doubling my money in a year or two, and that's probably not going to happen with the state of Nvidia. So looking at the small and medium cap companies that are involved with AI, ASML, SMCI, and all that type of stuff. But I think energy is going to be super important, and that's going to have to scale up very fast. Interestingly, you talked about solar. I'm really bullish on it, but there's so many headwinds for solar. I think it's going to be a waiting game, waiting for volume to
For
start
sure.
switching in that. So that's going to be maybe later in 2026 that one rolls around. But financials as well, they're going to do really well into rate cuts. So I've got some of that stuff. But really, I'm just picking out the opportunity where the momentum's coming. That what I'm thinking is going to be good could change next month, depending on
Correct.
what the macro is doing.
No, that's okay. It's understandable, you know. It happens, right? Like if you like, do you do this full time, or what's
No,
your?
I have a full-time job, but I also sit on my computer a lot and stare at stock charts. So
Okay.
quite,
For
I would
fun,
say
for fun.
almost full-time. Yeah, for fun. It's my hobby.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
I feel you. I'm like that too. What do
Yeah.
you
I try
think?
not to.
What do you think? Gives you, because like everyone's quite different. Everyone's got, there are things that set each investor or trader apart. Even as a
Mm.
popular investor as well. What do you think gives you your edge, or what? Who is Jody
Oh, my dog just
on
came in.
Etoro?
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Um, my edge. I think I'm really good at combining fundamental and technical analysis, so I can kind of move with the macro. I know it gives me a good idea of when to really lean into the markets and when to pull back.
Mm,
I think a lot of newer investors do struggle with that. They fall into the hype when that's when really you need to be pulling back, taking some profit off, and waiting to see what happens. But I think that is a lesson that comes with time, and that's definitely something that's helped me be able to do that.
yeah,
Nice.
that,
Yeah, I was
that's
looking.
really
I was
interesting.
go Mimi. Sorry.
No, you
Sorry.
go.
Yeah, I was looking
It-
at your portfolio. You have 1,106 trades in the last 12 months,
oh,
I've been busy.
which is yeah. Okay. You like to click that buy and sell, eh? Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it helps me compartmentalize a lot better if a stock pumps 20%, I'm going to take it off, and around key levels things can pull back. But
Okay.
that's a trade style that suits my personality. I'm quite active. I like to look at it. For someone that is more chill with it, they'll be happy to hold in the long term, and we could have the same results over the short term. But I've tried that other trade style, and it really didn't go well for me. So this is how I like to do it.
No, that's the thing. This is an art that you sort of like you find an edge, and whatever that edge is,
Mhm.
you sort of lean towards, right? So it's like whatever is working for you, and it seems to be working for you just fine. You know, I think you are sitting profitable this year, which is fantastic news. I mean, you're
Mhm.
still tied up in the volatility, like all of us are currently, but in the last 2 years, you're destroying those stats. It was nuts to see. It's like you're
mm,
over 200%, 235% almost in the last two
Sounds right.
years.
That
So
sounds
you've
about right.
doubled your portfolio. Yeah, you 2x your portfolio in the last 2 years.
that's
Is it
amazing.
Been
2x?
been a good few years. The
Yeah.
the tariff drop, especially, I think that's going to pay off for a while. So maybe we'll get another double in, but probably not. Probably maybe half, half
As
maybe.
long as with Trump right now, as long as it goes up, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Long
True.
term, short term. Cause like for me at least, is like I do hold both strategies, right? Like I have positions that I've held for a really long time, and I have positions that I like to get in and get out. And the more I pay attention, sometimes you just see opportunities like the SMCI drop or the first solar drop we just had, right? I'm also into options a little bit too, so I enjoy that. You know.
I had options at the bottom of the tariff drop, but right now I avoid. So options are something I would get into in a painful period, but like long leaps,
Yeah.
and kind of do that route. But unfortunately, eToro doesn't offer options. I don't think they're planning to either.
You're in the UK,
I'm
right?
aware of. Yes.
I think they started offering options, but I think not to the UK people.
Yeah, not to UK.
Yeah, I know.
Which is a bit
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
short? Did you end up shorting Circle, Nesta? I just
I
came
did
to
not.
mind.
I did not. I don't short. I don't short. I don't short.
Okay.
I don't short.
shorting's scary.
I wanted to. I
He
really
was
wanted
looking at
to.
it.
I
He
was
was
so
looking. He's
close
like,
to.
I want to
But I'm
short
like, I
it.
don't short. I don't short. I don't short. I don't short. And it's like it could just like come bite me. But it was such a clear short. Like it reminded me of the Weeble chart. It's
Mm.
just there was a lot of euphoria, and I'm not maybe that's one of the reasons XRP could boom as well, because they are in that sector of disrupting sort of the payment processes and stuff. But I just don't see that happening short. Like I just don't see Circle taking over as fast as we really think. Right? There's still age population that is not going to change into whatever cool application you have on your phone, little guy. You know what I mean? Like, and it's usually big money that tends to have access to like credit cards and take advantage of those perks, right? So I don't see them going away, but I do see Visa and Mastercard competing for sure in those sectors too. So maybe they like I was more scared about the decline that we could see in Mastercard and Visa than the upside that Circle could have, because they still have a lot of hurdles to jump through before they can take advantage of that. So I just didn't, it was a lot of euphoria and potentially a lot of crypto money going in, because anything crypto just booms whenever you see that euphoria coming in.
Yeah,
I
the
think
treasuries have been going crazy. There's been some
the
good
what?
trades there.
The repeat?
Treasuries, Bitcoin treasuries, and
Oh wow, we're talking
Ethereum
about
treasuries,
treasuries.
and Solana
Okay,
treasuries.
okay,
They've been pumping.
okay.
Not on Etoro though, are they? I don't think there was any listed on Etoro.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I haven't traded any on Etoro, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's the thing. It's like it starts getting into like when it gets into crypto, I'm a Bitcoin holder. I like Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I've always believed that this was a Bitcoin rally, nothing else. And obviously we see some like risk on sentiment on cryptocurrency markets. And me, it's always like altcoins, it's coming. But
When's it
like
coming,
for me,
Hugo? We
is
need to
yeah.
know.
Don't ask me when. Everyone's like, when? And it's
When?
like, and they're like, you said it was, and I'm like, come on. Like, I can't control Trump. I
Yeah.
can't control the world. But look, like this year. But you better be prepared. I mean, like, you don't have any. Do you have any altcoins? Do you use?
I bought whatever you told me. I allocated a
What?
position. Yeah, I just like whatever the top positions you told me to buy, I just bought. I just trust you. I don't know what else. Like not on my no, not on my eToro portfolio, but like on my crypto in my crypto bags, I was like, you know what, might as well.
Why not?
Okay.
I've done it. I've done
Okay.
it with all of the members. It's like whenever I get recommendations from you guys, I just trust them. You know what I mean? So, by the
Okay.
way, no
Well,
financial advice. Don't do what I do. We're just some random people on the internet. Maybe we know what we're talking about. Maybe we don't. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And that's okay. But make sure you check out our portfolios, and if you like them, don't be afraid to copy. Links in the description. But yes, it's yeah. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you've watched this far. Pam, 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 pam. But yes, insane. Anything else going on in markets that you guys think the audience needs to know?
I don't know. Maybe when I
Anything else?
log on to X, I might find something exciting. Who knows
You
what's
know
happening
what?
right
Like
now?
well,
let me ask you this thing, because I know that you hold Tesla, and I have a
Oh
small
no,
position on
I'm gonna
Tesla.
get loads of unfollows now.
Now you're gonna get the
I
Elon. You're
know.
gonna get more Elon copiers, and then Elon haters are gonna disappear. But
Oh,
I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts on Tesla so far? Because it seems that if you value right, like you were talking about the valuation and the fundamentals, right? So
mhm.
if we're talking about Tesla as a car company, it's overpriced. As a data
Massively
company,
overpriced.
it's
Yeah.
overpriced, right? As a data company is overpriced, or as a tech company is overpriced. But as a all of the above plus the Elon premium, it seems to be okay. So it seems what people
Yeah.
believe. So what are your thoughts on that?
True.
Because I'm in the camp that Tesla has an Elon premium that depends on how every single Elon follower is feeling. It's a little bit of
That's
a cult.
true.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a cult.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, the problem is when people marry their stocks. So I'm not in Tesla because of Elon. I'm not in Tesla because I think it's, the world's best company, which it may well be one day. I'm in Tesla because I see a path to where they can make these huge returns. If even one of these products works, it's game changing for the
Yeah.
company, and that's a bet I'm willing to take with a small part of my portfolio. And you can run the models, and a lot of the models that people are putting out there for Tesla are insane, especially for robo taxi. There's no way it's going to grow that fast that long.
Yeah.
There's just no
Oh,
way.
we're gonna talk about robotaxis here. I swear to
Robo
God.
taxi. So Tesla's a really, really long term play, and it's going to be super volatile, but again, that makes it fun to trade in and out of.
Yeah.
And
true.
Elon opens his mouth a lot, so that makes it fun to trade. And
Yeah, like the
I wouldn't stay all in it. I wouldn't be like 100% Tesla because that would be insane. But as a long term bet, and it's it's less risky than taking an options play on another stock just to be in Tesla. That's how I see my
yeah,
Would
that's
you
portfolio.
fair.
If that makes
recommend
sense.
buying Tesla now or wait?
Um, good question, because this is the kind of financial advice that I try to avoid when people ask me about should I buy at this level. I don't know your specific
Risk
standings
tolerance.
or your risk
Yeah.
tolerances. For me, it's a relatively safe bet looking out into late 2026, 2027. So I don't think Tesla's going to be like $1,000 this year, but it's a good
Mm.
rotation option to rotate other gains into later on.
Yeah.
So again, I bought a little bit of the dip, expecting that they would make friends quite quickly, and they did. So that's just another swing trade
Yeah.
idea. You know, buy the fallout, sell the makeup.
Yeah, literally one day, like it's a day trade, and all of a sudden you're seeing a 5% bounce from the lows. It's insane, right? So it's like
Yeah.
that's one of the trades that I've
Um,
seen. Most of the positive catalysts have already behind us, which is like, and the negative catalysts, because the problem with Tesla is you get positive and negative all together at once, because Elon plays like, I have I have an idea when it comes, but it's like whenever Elon knows how to play the media and the markets, right? And he knows that if I put the robo taxi whenever I give you bad results on the car deliveries, it'll balance out. You know what I mean?
mm,
So you're seeing those sort of like, do I think that every single person is going to own a Tesla car by next year? No. Right? Are we going to have robo taxis on the streets taking over every single car in the next 5 years? Probably not. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. I see the Uber problems coming into the streets.
mm.
I see just, if Trump doesn't like Elon, he's gonna hold that back, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm more interested in the energy sector, to be honest. 'Cause I think that's going to be
yeah,
really, really important in 2026, 2027. And
Yeah.
there's a
yeah,
lot of the total addressable market is going to be so big that more than one company can win. So everyone's saying that Tesla's got competition when it comes to these mega packs. That's a good thing. There's going to be more demand than Tesla could possibly keep up with.
which is the thing that I think Nvidia and AMD have right now. One of the questions that I got asked on just before, like this week, was, do you think AMD will take market share from Nvidia? And I just think the market's so big right now, and it'll get
Hmm.
so big that they are both going to be able to fulfill. It's just a matter of production at that point, right? Because it's just, as long as you keep innovating and as long as you give that compute, I don't think we're running like, the big thing with Nvidia is it's a compute.
Hmm.
It's not a chip company, it's a compute company, right? So it's like you're buying compute from them, being able to just produce whatever workload it needs to be. And the more we're getting into this AI tools such as video, audio, like I think Zuckerberg was saying that he wants his AI companion to remember the last 10 years of conversations. Just having him in the glasses and
Gonna
then
need
just being
more
able to
power for
remember.
this and more chips and all sorts.
100%,
So
exactly.
yeah.
So that's where the play goes, right? And I like solar because, well, at least First Solar, right? First Solar, I think, is the biggest commercial manufacturer of solar panels in the States, and they're an American
Mm.
company. And interestingly enough, anything that's made in America will get the perks until 2027 when they start rolling them, slowly coming, like rolling them out. So I think what Trump is doing is just shifting demand towards those the next two
Yeah.
years to try to maximize and pump out as much as we can. That's why
Mm.
First Solar has been insanely profitable. It's just
What
been
happened
like, I
to
think,
First Solar recently? They didn't
so.
have, they had like a huge fall from, I had a
So I'll show you.
brief.
So the thing is First Solar gets like branded as a solar company, and it's just like renewables is awful, right? But the thing is like when you hear Trump speak, Trump focuses on wind. Trump doesn't like wind. Trump doesn't like solar, but he doesn't hate solar as much as people think.
Mm.
And let me show you the graph, right? So it's like, let me have a look. So that's First Solar right there. We're gonna share that. Okay. Right. So we had the massive decline, right? Like it was sitting at this levels currently, right? 177, 178, and then it dropped all the way down to like 140, 135.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
that's a
Massive
good
buying
short.
opportunity. Oh, 100%. The moment it
Depends how
dropped, it was
fluffy the
like,
gap feels, doesn't it? So yeah, I would have
exactly.
taken that if I saw it.
Yeah. And this was like, if you were paying attention to the beautiful bill and the changes that the Senate was making during the time, you could see that this slowly there was being, okay, like the fears are not as bad because we are allowing those tax credits to be a part of this. So what does that mean? That means that you buy everything now and you start installing it now. You give them the money and you're sure, like, they take the cost or whatever, and then you can just, it's pretty much free. It's an investment because all of the profits that you have, you just reinvest back into the solar and you just reduce your costs long term. And it's the fastest way to get energy anywhere. So let's say you need energy in X, you go and you install solar panels as your baseline, You don't even need to start the batteries yet because you just need to have some sort of energy. And then you build in the battery infrastructure to maintain if you produce more than you're consuming, all of that stuff. So I just think like commercially wise, like the residential solar, I'm a little bit more scared because people are running out of cash, right? In America, the consumer is not as healthy as people are wanting to believe. And it's one of the reasons that the market thinks we're really scared of this. But I just don't see the commercial coming in if market capitalization is increasingly massively to the point that companies continue to increase guidance on capital expenditures. I just don't, it's like you can just cover your buildings on solar panels and you reduce the energy, like you reduce the temperatures of your data centers. You have them on top of a space that you were not using anyways. And you can put it and just send the energy over there. So I don't know. It just fits so nicely in the AI thing. So I really like it. I don't know. I really like First Solar for me at least. And I just think
I'll
this.
put that on my list.
I was just thinking I might have to do some research on that one as well. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Here and get some stock pick ideas.
Yeah,
because you sold it well.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, like I'm on an options trade. I bought a 140. I have a strike option ending July 18 on 145, and I'm already on the money on that trade. And it's like I'm just holding it. I'm just like wait until expiry, roll them up, because it's like we are like solar next earnings is just whoever like any big what's it called, the cloud. What's the name of the cloud people? The hyperscalers. All of the hyperscalers are gonna have like solar as one of the energy sources that fills up because it allows them to be green. It allows them to keep that story on that side, and then bam, I just don't see them slowing down anytime soon. And I think Trump wants to protect American companies. And First Solar, it's such nicely placed right now. It's crazy. I just like it's one of the investments that I'm like, wow, it's like they could just explode. And they've missed earnings. Like here, you can see they've missed the last couple of earnings. But I think we potentially see starting to beat earnings and expectations as demand just starts shooting up because people have to get them off the ground.
Well, so that could help if they've lowered their guidance. They could beat them quite easily.
Correct.
Obviously, I can't see them through there, but I would imagine that's what they would have done.
Yeah, correct. And there's a 10% short float on them too. So, you know what I mean? So there is like demand pressure that could just shoot up. And I mean, like look at the forward PE, even at like at levels, it's like sitting at the forward PE right now is sitting at 8. The current PE is sitting at 15. And I just think that the growth we're going to see is nuts. So it's just,
what growth rate does it have? I can't read that. It's too small. What's the growth rate year over year?
Growth rate year over year. Let me have a look. I know where this is. Where is it? Gross margins.
Why they put it so far in?
I know. But it's like, so let's have a look. So insiders, no, that's not it. And then
pull it up on my thing.
Do it up. Oh, where is it?
Wow, that's a nice
spanner in the works asking that.
Yeah, 23% growth on earnings, 19% growth on sales. There we go. Year on year, trailing 12 months. There we go. I knew where that.
It's mainly manufacturing a good though, right?
Yeah, and we're likely to see them just spike up as time goes by. Like if we look at, like I have a feeling, they're gonna explode to the upside, and it's just, yeah.
Gross margins of 44%. No.
It's nice. I'm telling you, it's like this one is like a diamond in there. Like I did not financial advice. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. You know what I mean? And then share it with me so I can see it. I wish, like, I just want people to fight me on it. You know what I mean? Like I'm always down for somebody to tell me anything wrong about my companies, and I'm always down. So if at any point you guys want to talk about First Solar, I'm more than down to jump on an episode and do it up. Because
maybe that's because I really want to start writing a focus on a stock, write an analysis, and I was going to write about Circle. It's still on my list. So maybe First Solar will be. It's interesting because I had First Solar years ago. Then I sold it.
I think I did at some point as well.
Yeah. I was like, it's not doing anything.
For the longest time, it didn't do anything. Yeah, for the longest time, it didn't do anything. And then Biden's green bill was like super bullish for it, like for all solar stuff. And commercial, like what's it called, real, like not commercial, residential was actually, everybody was hyped about Enphase and about Solar Edge and about all of those, and I was like, and then I went into Solar Edge and I lost a ton of money, and then I saw First Solar and I was like, this is commercial. Like, I did my research and I was like, this is commercial. This is interesting. I was like, AI. Okay, what's the second and third sort of like plays after the AI boom starts picking up? And it's like, we're gonna need a ton of energy. That's a given. And it's like, okay, these projects are gonna take a while. So we're just starting in terms of AI and microchip demand. So yeah, it's like I just see it. I just see First Solar being able to take advantage of just the Trump stance on America, America, America. It's just yeah.
That's really interesting because for me, I'm always going to be in crypto in some way, shape, or form, but just want to find that next crypto at 2013, you know what I mean, or crypto at 2017. And I can't really figure it out right now. I'm thinking, yeah, obviously AI is a given, like you said, solar and all that, renewable energy. But is there anything else? Is there anything else that is when Bitcoin was at 2013, or 2011,
Like
2012?
there's a bunch right now.
Now,
There's like, but the thing is there are companies, like I think, like for example, like here, and this is the watch list that everybody should have, and this is the watch list that I'm paying attention to. So debate me, please, community, debate me. So it's what I'm asking you is to shit on me with as much information as possible. I love it. But I want to know Google. I think Google is fairly priced right now.
I think it's quite cheap, really. I think
I
it's
think so too.
massive, isn't it?
I think so too. Because it's just like, I think like what is Google? I asked this question and nobody answered it because I just don't have the reach. But the question was, what do you think Google is? And people think it's just like a search engine, and it's not. Google is a data company. The amount of data that we give Google on a regular day-to-day basis with YouTube, with Google Maps, with all of their suite office options, is just nuts. Like the Gmail access, every single person has a Gmail just because it's the email you have, like Google calendars, all of that stuff. Like I was using Gemini, and Gemini is already starting to integrate with all of the Google apps, and it's just going to have such an advantage because ChatGPT's OpenAI model is great. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't link with any of the apps that I have.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like that's where it's lacking. It's access to everything else, but Google has that, and I just think that Google is it's gonna be like a diamond in the rough. I think I saw that you hold a CCL, and my dad was like, you got to pay attention to this stock, and it's fairly cheap. It's fairly cheap, and I was looking. I was like, okay, Dad, I'll put it in the radar. Like obviously, like right now, I feel that I have more alpha in other stocks, like microchips and sort of like solar energies and all of that stuff. So most of my money's there. But again, there are sectors right now that are getting hurt that are actually not performing half bad at all, right? Like
Yeah.
so, CCL was another one.
Google, again, it's just really good. It's got really good growth prospects. I think it's going to make new highs fairly easily. But for me, it just doesn't fit that risk reward I look for.
Yeah,
I look for a much bigger reward for my risk. But if there wasn't as much opportunity, especially in crypto, Google would be one that I take a swing at, like I did with Nvidia. I probably would just
yeah.
swing to the high or something like that one. So it's easy, safe money. You're probably fine on that one. I think they've got an antitrust thing going through at the minute, but the
Correct.
worst
They
that's going
they
to
might
happen
get
is
breaking up.
a little smack on the hand, and you'll get two stocks for the same value anyway. So
Maybe
not
the
that
thing is if they manage to break them off, and I just don't like, maybe they will. Like I'm not fully up to date with that, but I think the biggest scare right now with Google has to do with their search revenue, which is around 56% of revenue.
bad.
It's coming down drastically, right? But they are also incorporating their own AI Gemini within the search model, so we'll have to see how they sort of come out of this, and if they come out of
Yeah,
this alive.
they'll be able to pivot.
Yeah,
These mega cap companies,
correct.
they sometimes a little
Yes.
bit slow to realize they've made a mistake.
Yeah.
They're still bringing in tons of cash. They'll be able to
Mm.
find a way to pivot.
And something that Google has that Microsoft, I actually reduced my exposure on Microsoft and increase my exposure, and I'm looking to buy some more Google as well, is because Microsoft doesn't have, like, what is the problem with Microsoft? Every single project they have had, they have a core business that's working great. They don't care about the other side stuff. It's a side piece, you know what I mean? But with Google, they are in the camp that it's like, yo, if we don't innovate and start acting like a startup again,
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm sitting. I don't know. I like Google. I called it. I was like, this is the moment I call Google. It's gonna be Microsoft in AI. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. I'll die by the sword. I'll die by the sword. You know. But I also like Microsoft. Don't get me wrong. I also like Microsoft and I hold it. So there's that.
Yeah, me
But
too. I mean, like, I think Microsoft is just like no brainer, very stable, no drama there.
No one's
Google
moving
comes with,
away from Microsoft, are they? Once
no,
you're in their ecosystem, you're committed. You will
that's
pay
it.
whatever they ask.
yeah,
Exactly. And then, but yeah, Google, like you said, innovative, very forward thinking. I really think Google is very forward thinking, and that's always like the space I like to tap into. I get really excited about that. So I will definitely be adding more Google. I have Google, have Microsoft, but I'll be adding more Google as well.
Jody, I saw you bought a UNH.
Yes, I did.
We have a big debate with UNH. I think. Do we all hold it in the market bus?
I don't. I will. I'm thinking about it. But no, I don't.
Jody, what do you think? What are your thoughts on it?
For me, it's a really strong return to the median kind of play. So it's not going to be something I'm holding for multi-year. But when you look through the numbers, there's so much of their business that is just irreplaceable in the US healthcare system. So really, their financials aren't going to change a great deal. They're not as affected by the Medicaid stuff as people think they are. It's gonna go back to kind of pushing back onto its growth trajectory. So just a swing trade for me, not a super long term one. I don't think it will take long for it to recover, but timing in these things isn't always great when there's a lot of negative narrative, so it could take longer. So if you're impatient on this one, I would avoid it. Did
I
I cover it?
see. No, that's good. That's very good. We gotta share. We gotta share because I know Dimitris has his thoughts on it for sure. Dimitris is the one that got us onto it because it was like,
Yes.
yeah, like I think it's one of his biggest positions, and he took the
Mm.
hit
I think
on
I
it.
want
But
to
it's been
buy
he's
more, to be honest, as well. Make it bigger.
I'm pretty. I set it up at a pretty nice level. I think maybe a little bit more just to rebalance because I've been rebalancing my portfolio. I'm looking to actually reduce my Nvidia position a little bit because I think 160 is going to be a top for a little while until we get to the earnings, and then. But yeah, it's just like the thing is like the volatility, the opportunities with Nvidia. I think is the swing trading aspect of it. We're gonna see the
Yeah.
volatility come, but I do think that, for example, like imagine if all of a sudden the China curves. I think there was a couple of microchip companies today
Oh, did they
that
lift the levy on the chips on Nvidia? I thought I saw
I
that as
don't
well.
think so. I don't
Or
think
was
I
it a
think
rumor?
it's not on the chips. I think it's on the software. So Cadence ended up doing, and then it was like there was a couple of companies that rally like crazy today because of that. So I think it's the software side, not the chip side yet. But I think the chip side is coming because it's going to be part
Yeah.
of the talks. It's I saw a Kevin O'Leary interview, and he had a very interesting sort of perspective on the curves, and he was like, "Look, the the chip is like the queen bee, right? You need the queen bee, but you also need the working ants or the working bees around her to make the honey, right? And the
Right.
working bees in this reference is the developers, right? Who are the developers and where are the developers spending most of their time in to make that sweet, sweet honey, right? So he's like, we want the queen bee to be American, so we don't want Huawei to be able to produce a queen bee that's as good as our chip. Give them the old chip so they start building infrastructure. They're gonna go to that chip because they actually can and it's the best, and then that way you keep control of the network and or control, in this case, the hive. So
Yeah, I think eventually they're gonna have
Mm.
to drop that though, because China will find a way to copy things like they always do. So yeah, it's a bit of a
yeah,
dangerous game if they
Yeah.
push it
correct.
too far out.
Yeah, but the problem is like if you don't sell to them, you're making them figure it out faster. They have to
Yeah.
spend the capital expenditures to go there because they just have to be able to compete. So
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. Any other rumors? I don't know. I talked to the points that I wanted to talk about. I just things that are on my mind. You know what I mean?
I
Again.
mean, like when you say rumors, something comes up, but I don't know if I want to talk about it because it's just very risky
Can't
play.
tell people
This is the
that.
deep,
I
deep, deep
mean,
end. You know what I mean? Like we are almost an hour in. Like this is like if
So,
this is the reward for people to stay this long.
okay, something caught my attention, but it is very high risk. It's just something if you have $100 and you want to gamble with it, then do it. But it's something that I potentially might invest a little bit in, just a tiny bit, and it's a meme coin. It's a meme coin. If only
Whoa.
Timothy was here. If only Timothy was here.
We'll get his reaction. I'll send him the clip, and we'll get his reaction.
Jody's like, is it XRP?
No. I will give you $100 if that beats Solana.
oh, that's a good one. Oh, okay. Long term depends on the time frame. But anyway, so
it's all about the time
there is a
frame.
meme coin called Pengu, Pengu.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, so it's been brought to my attention. I've heard about it. A lot of influencers talk about it on YouTube, and so I looked, because I've been looking at charts a lot. Right, I've been delving into technicals, and I looked at the chart. And what usually happens with a lot of the meme coins or coins that get listed, right? They spike up. When they spike up. They and then they completely dump. So Pengu, for a while, firstly, Pengu has an extremely strong narrative. It's got because of pudgy penguins or something like that. It's extremely, it's like huge cult following. And in terms of the technicals, though, it's got this like, they look at the 1 day cup and handle, right? If it comes down to say about 0.0125 or so, I think I'm going to get in. And it's just such, it's got the technicals are there, but the strong narrative is there. I would I don't want to talk about it too much because it just makes me sound a little silly. But it's, if anybody, for me as a very, like, I don't invest in meme coins. I have Doge. It's no longer really a meme coin, but it kind of is. But that would be one that I would put a little bit of my fun money in. It's a very interesting token. It's a very interesting.
Is this Club Penguin stuff?
Get it over the high.
Yeah, it's pudgy penguins. I need to look into it more, but it's pudgy penguins, and I talk about it in my community. Penguins.
So it's a Solana.
It tells me off all the time because I can't pronounce it.
I think it's going to do really well. Yeah.
So 12 cents? Are we buying at 12 cents maybe? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah. No, 12.45 to be exact. Or maybe 12.6.
Okay. By the way, this is definitely not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
It's your money. Make your own decisions. Do not go blaming other people for your mistakes if you make a mistake. Because it's your money, not ours. We do what we want with our money, and you do with your money whatever you want. But this is crazy. A Pengu coin. I swear to God. So I went to a wedding, and I gave my friend some Bitcoin and some Ethereum, and I'm looking to buy some meme coins, and I'm looking for a cat coin. What cat coin can I buy?
Well, there's a penguin there. There's your dog with hat. That's a question for Timothy. Timothy and his meme coin collection. So
I will make sure to ask. I'll make sure to ask. Okay.
He's an expert for meme coins then.
Yes. He likes to get in and get out, so he's like a little bit of opportunistic in it whenever he sees because I don't know, there is the psychology behind the meme coins, and it's like after a while you sort of get used to it. So he seems to sort of have a handle on it. By the way, don't forget to check out Timothy's altcoin course down below for free. It's a 5-day course. You can check it out for free. There's nothing to pay, only for Market Buzz subscribers. All right. So don't forget to hit that like. All right. Stop sharing. But yes, we've done pretty good. We've gone for an hour. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you guys want to share? Any interesting things?
No, my mind is on Ripple right now, and that's really it. Going to take a look very soon.
I'll have a look at what this bank deal is, because it's really, really hard to get a bank charter. So I want to know.
I think my theory is that at some point it will be approved, but it's not going to be an easy path. And so right now it's pumping by the rumor. Then it's going to run into roadblocks. It's like, no, you can't do it. Red tape. You need this, that, or it's delayed. Then it will fall. There'll be a pullback, and I will buy. As much as I can.
That's going to push it back past the end of year, though, for a banking charter.
Not sure.
Notoriously difficult to get, so a lot of smaller fintechs don't get the charter because it's too much faff. It takes
Can you not buy? Can you not buy like a company that already has it and then just incorporate it into your model?
I
I
don't
think
know
that's the
about
cheat
that,
way,
actually.
no?
I don't know how it works.
Because when you're
really.
looking for a banking license, you just buy somebody's, like you buy somebody's bank, like some regional bank or something, and then it just gives
I'm
you
gonna
access.
ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Oh,
Yes, do it
ChatGPT.
out, do it out. ChatGPT time. We're in the deep, 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 deep,
Deep,
deep end.
deep.
Markets are up. Markets are loving. Whoa.
Oh, I
First
should have
solar
bought.
183. Let's go.
It's too late for us to buy it now, damn it.
I should
It's
have bought.
tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's so tricky. I've been shouting it. I've been shouting it. I was like, first solar, first solar, first solar. I just saw it. It was clear. 261% on my options. Let's go. Let's
I should have bought
go.
that Bitcoin dip just then. I should have bought that. I should have traded that actually. But
The,
that's
And
okay.
the fees make it hard to trade Bitcoin, though, don't they? Which is annoying. What do
Yeah.
Etoro charge? Like 2%?
I think it's
Give or
let me
take,
have-
yeah.
I think it's 2%, like 1% on the downside, 1% on the upside. Their spread. So, but yeah, oh my God, markets rallying. What happened? Who broke who? Russia's Putin to hold phone call with Trump. Okay, and then
Surely something more exciting than that.
Do we have any
yeah.
questions from anyone?
Any questions in the chat? Do let me know. Or quantum stocks. Are we looking at quantum stocks at all?
No.
Look, I
Too
mean,
early.
Microsoft is a quantum stock with their new Majorama whatever chip, but it's so early. I agree. Like I think Jensen
They're
did
making
say,
too many mistakes when they're coming up with the numbers and stuff still, so the error rate is still really high.
yeah, the Jensen was saying that it was like 10 years away from anything useful, and then he reiterated that opinion. He was like, actually, we're closer, but we're still far. So it's like it'll be interesting to see how he sort of pans out.
Yeah, there could be like
Lock
a
and load.
technological leap at some point, but it's the companies right now are so unprofitable. It's a very, very expensive infrastructure to build out. I would avoid until there's more clarity on which
Yeah.
companies are actually going to be using the invested
Mm.
capital.
Or venture capital money, which is just like put in the money and hope and pray for the best, but it's
Yeah.
likely going to go to zero.
Probably
You
better.
have the possibility of going to zero, which is for sure there. And then we have, Orbital just bought some more Google. Well, good for you. Good.
Like just then?
Just now.
Just then?
Just now. You're welcome,
Took
dude.
on the financial advice.
Yeah, no financial advice, but obviously. Okay, man. Anything else? Anything? Let me have a look while we were talking. What anything happened? By the way, for the people that have made it this far, there's going to be a Discord link on the description of this. We're going to start having sort of. I don't know if Judy, if you're interested in this at all, but we're going to start
I
like
love
every.
Discord.
Okay, so we are
Yeah.
planning to sort of start a Discord wherever we just like whenever something is happening, we can just jump in, have discussions, talks between like
Mhm.
popular investors and people that are interested, of just having a
Yeah.
conversation and then get topics going on, research going on from the community, and that's what we're hoping
Mm.
because the value for like at least the value for me is just any information that can get me out of a trade or get me into a trade that's actually profitable. I make most of my like
Yeah.
I'm a full-time trader, so
Yeah.
investor trader thing,
Yeah, Nesta and I did one a few times like last week, and
Yeah.
it was like before, just as market opened, US market opened, and we were both I was trading, we were both trading, I don't know, and we're just
Yeah.
like talking back and forth, looking at data. So it was really good. I mean,
Yeah.
give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be 100 people, first come, first serve. I'm just gonna put it out there for now, and then bam.
Save a space for me.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you the link after this for sure. All right. Thanks you
Okay.
everybody for watching. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Make clips, share them with people. Let us know what you like more of. And if you have any questions for either one of us, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll make sure the answer. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Peace. All right. So I have to stop
Thank you.
this.